What's up guys, my name's Tom and welcome back to the FPL Centre, and it's quite an important week for me this week. That's right, the wildcard is active, so I'm going to go through my team, explain a bit why I've decided to wildcard this week, and then cover some of the key options I'm looking at getting in ahead of Gameweek 7. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So let's take a look at the team, first of all, that I had coming into Gameweek 6. We got 66 points, a solid 14 above the average for the week there, and that's taken us up to 388 overall points now, and a rank of 129,732, so a green arrow there taking us up about 70k spots. Hennessy with a clean sheet for Palace plus a save point and a bonus point there, got us 8. In defence it was clean sheets across the board for the 3 players that we chose to start, with Robertson, Wan-Bissaka, both picking up bonus points as well. In midfield, I got Salah as captain and he got himself a goal for a solid 16 points in total. Eriksen and Fraser both blanked in their games though, and as I mentioned, Pedro got auto-subbed out after failing a late fitness test for Chelsea's game on Sunday. Up front, Alexander Mitrovic did well on his first week in the side, grabbing himself a goal, and Wilson blanked for just the second time this season, so we just got the 2 points from him. And finally, Sergio Aguero got himself a goal in City's big win against Cardiff, playing just the 60 minutes for a 6-point return. And I think we're going to see more games with potentially reduced minutes for Aguero over the next few weeks, with the Champions League games coming up and Pep looking to potentially keep him fresh. So, as you can see in that team there, it's not horrible, but the bench needs to be fixed. Pedro scoring 0 wasn't ideal, and yeah, now we'll take a look at the league quickly. So there we go, Rodrigo Montero maintains his place at the top of the league with a score of 65 for the week. Things are pretty close at the top though, as it's just a 7-point lead that he holds now over Thomas Clements, who also scored 65 on the week, moving into second place. Yet again, I found myself with green arrows everywhere except in my own league. I've dropped down 2 spots from 36th to 38th. Not too bad, but obviously with my wildcard active this week, I'm hoping for a nice jump up the ranks in Gameweek 7. As I mentioned in the last video, entries for the league are still open, and they're going to be open until the end of October. So if you want to get involved, the direct link will be in the description below. Join up if you want to, and all your points for the season so far will be counted. So yeah, now we'll just move on and take a look at the wildcard options I'm considering for the wildcard team. So first of all, I've had to fix my bench. I've been getting away with only having Wan-Bissaka as a playing option up to Gameweek 6. It's finally caught up with me though, I think, and I'm very happy the wildcard is allowing me to address the weakness in the team here. So Lee Peltier and Callum Hudson-Odoi will make way, and Matt Doherty and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg will come in. I'm not going to go into depth about Højbjerg, but I have taken a look and it was between him and Philip Billing for my third bench spot there. Højbjerg just edged it due to being slightly ahead in a few key stat categories. For Matt Doherty, Wolves have looked solid defensively and they've got a very nice set of fixtures over the next 4. On top of that, Doherty is impressed statistically as well, behind only Marcos Alonso and Cesar Azpilicueta for touches in the final third. He's level with Alonso for touches inside the penalty area, and he's second for the number of shots taken among defenders as well, and he's also joint highest for shots in the box among defenders too. Needless to say, I'm very excited to bring Doherty in here, and he's a huge upgrade on Peltier for just 0.5 million more there. Next up, in midfield, I had an underperforming and pretty frustrating Christian Eriksen, combined with a rotation risk in Pedro. I'd love to stick with Eriksen for a couple more weeks, but honestly he's just not shown enough lately, even while in a more attacking role with Ali out for the past 2 weeks. So ultimately I think there are just better value options to move forward with, and so Eriksen and Pedro will make way, and it's Richarlison and Maddison at the moment who are coming in. Richarlison, obviously he's back from his ban now. He looked sharp against Arsenal and he had the joint highest number of attempts on goal in Game Week 6 among midfielders. Not really a pick with stats in mind, since obviously he's missed the 3 games, so he's kind of missing 3 games worth of stats there. But it's very much in line with talisman theory, and there have been suggestions as well that Richarlison could even play as an out-of-position striker in the next few games, with the out-of-form Cenk Tosun being dropped to the bench. Fulham and Leicester are pretty much the perfect fixtures to get him back to scoring ways, as they have both been pretty defensively leaky this season, in particular Fulham, who have looked like they could concede 2 or 3 goals in every game so far. For James Maddison, he's got very nice fixtures all the way to game week 15 at the start of December. And that's the primary reason why I'm keen on bringing him in there. I'd like to have some Leicester cover for that great stretch of nice fixtures going all the way up to the start of December. Over the past 2 game weeks with Jamie Vardy back in the side, no midfielder has actually recorded more attempts on goal than Maddison with 11. He's also in the top 3 midfielders for both chances created and big chances over the past couple of weeks as well. I'm less convinced with Maddison than I am with Richarlison, since the majority of his returns so far have been pretty lucky this season. His spot could very easily be taken by the likes of Ramsey by the end of the week in my team, looking at Ramsey as a potential option there. But I do like that he's at no risk of rotation. He's guaranteed to play 90 minutes every game, I think, and I can't deny that the fixture run there, like I mentioned, is very attractive. So yeah, I definitely want a Leicester option in my team, and he's probably the best value option, having also shown moments of real quality to combine with what seems to be his luck so far. And so, like I said earlier, the wildcard has been activated because of an opportunity to be aggressive, and it's Mohamed Salah and Callum Wilson that are going to be leaving the team in order to make it possible. The man coming in that this 2-week punt is centred around is, of course, Harry Kane, and he would likely be joined by Sadio Mane in midfield to cover at least half the high ownership partnership there in the Liverpool attack. The fixtures line up perfectly, with Kane's next 2 games coming against arguably the weakest teams in the league in Huddersfield and Cardiff. Following that, in game weeks 9 and 10, I can switch back to Mo Salah for him to face the exact same opponents, giving me 4 straight weeks of great captaincy options there. Statistically, over the last 2 game weeks, Kane ranks top 3 among strikers for penalty area touches and shots inside the penalty area. No player has had more shots on target than Kane, and he's second for expected goals behind only Glenn Murray for that period too. So he's definitely getting into the right areas, he's getting plenty of shots on goal from inside the area, and against Brighton he also looked much sharper than he has in previous weeks, running at defenders, creating chances and linking up play quite nicely too. Owned by just 1.5% of FPL managers in the top 5k at the moment, Kane is actually also a pretty good differential for climbing the overall ranks despite his 25% ownership in the game as a whole. Since those managers with high rankings already are very unlikely to be owning Kane right now, an explosive 2 weeks from him could do wonders in terms of a boost to the overall rank. On the flip side of that, if he doesn't do as well as I hope against Huddersfield and Cardiff, I think it's also pretty unlikely that he's going to do dramatically worse than Mo Salah, who faces Chelsea and then Man City over the same 2 game weeks. So essentially I see this as a great opportunity to be aggressive with my wildcard, targeting this 2-week window where Kane has the best possible fixtures, coinciding with the likes of Salah, Mane and Hazard having a much tougher run. It's pretty low risk and, like I say, potentially very high reward. And if it doesn't work out as I hope, at least I've fixed a few problems in my team as a whole. I think I've improved the team there, and as I say, it's just for the 2 weeks, so if it doesn't work out, go back to Salah in game week 9 and I can just carry on with my season from there. So there we go guys, that's my wildcard strategy. Let me know what you think in the comments and on Twitter. Later this week I'll have the Game Week 7 fixture breakdown with an in-depth look at the key fixtures from an FPL perspective, plus the team preview to show the finalised wildcard team as part of that video as well. Showing how I'm lining up for Game Week 7, all that stuff. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to keep up with what I'm doing, and let me know in the comments what you think of the wildcard strategy. But that's all from me today guys, thanks for watching.